That everybody's in, I think we should get cracking. So to start, I'm gonna hide the floating meeting controls because they're annoying. All right, so this is gonna be a quick overview talking about Realty ONE Group's tech and tools. We can do more like deep dive stuff later. I just kind of want you guys to know the basics about what we offer and what you guys are able to use, and what Isaac and I are big believers in. You guys know how your business is run successfully. You have access to all these tech and tools. It's all complimentary, part of being our office and part of the $100 desk fee. The only one we require you guys to use is SkySlope, but everything else is kind of pick and choose. But to get started, I'm going to go to the One login. So the One login, it's this realtyonegroup.com address. So it's realtyonegroup.onelogin.com, and then it's /portal. If you guys don't have this link, let me know, or actually I will just drop it in the chat, and that way you guys can just bookmark it. So there's that. Your username credentials to log into the One login are going to be your first name and then your last name. Lisa, yours is going to be different. So I think yours is Lisa M.
Knudsen.
So Wilson, I think you're just Wilson.Kim. But if you have any issues logging on, just let me know. But this is going to be kind of the hub, I guess, of your business. The first time you log in here, what's happening is I create your account in Zone, and Zone is like Realty ONE Group's back-end system. So back in the day, because I started with Realty ONE Group in 2014, Zone used to be how you would access your tech and tools. Obviously, as our company grew larger, the tech and tools kept expanding, and Zone was not able to hold everything. And that's why we came up with the One login instead. Your Zone is still an important place to go, but we'll get into that in a sec. So has everyone been able to get into the One login before? Yes? Okay, cool. So first thing that happens is it's going to bring you to this frequency tab. Over here on the right, it's got your apps, and then I believe it starts on like CRM and leads. Just hit this little caret arrow down, change it to everything, and then you're able to see everything that we offer. First thing on here is the 1031 asset exchange. This is something that is more for investors. It's something that you can talk more with Isaac about. Basically, it's a way of transferring one investment property and in buying another investment property to, it's beneficial tax-wise.
Defer the tax, yeah.
Yeah, so it's not something that I'm really supposed to speak a ton about. It's something that Isaac can speak more about if you're interested. But you should be able to just click on this, and it'll bring you to this partner group. I remember. That was cute. All right. But I don't know why it's not taking me to that landing page. But if you have questions about the 1031 asset exchange, just reach out to Isaac. The second tool we have here is Brownie. So I'm actually going to show you guys an example of what I've used Brownie for in the past. It is a video and photo enhancing website that Realty ONE Group gets a discount through. They have stuff like item removal, as you can see, which is like $4 to $8. It's super cheap. They can stage your house. They can do light to dusk. They can do digital renders. They're all pretty amazing. What I really like is just the image enhancement, and it's about $1.50 per photo. I have to say that, you know, in advertising, we do have to be honest with our advertising. We can't be, you know, cutting out, I don't know, power lines or something that aren't there. So make sure to be careful. But Craig had this listing, and it was a little bit janky. So I didn't want to like get rid of the stuff just because I kind of knew the stuff is part of the environment. I can't edit any of this out, but you can see that the whites in the sky are really blown out and the darks are pretty dark. And so this was $1.50 to get it edited to this. Next photo, this is one that we didn't feel was honest advertising. So we ended up not using this as a listing photo, but when we were reaching out to clients to talk about what the backyard could look like, this is a photo we used, and then we explained this is the original photo, and these people have a bunch of dogs and they also drive back here. So it can be helpful, I think, on showing what the potential of a property can look like. You guys do get a discount for being with Realty ONE Group, so just make sure that you log in via the one login. You're gonna see boxbrownie.com and then the ROG up here, and that's how you know you're in the right spot. For any of these tech and tools, make sure that when you sign in, you use the email address that is connected to your zone profile. So Wilson, I think yours is just Wilson at ROGTK, Lisa, you're Lisa at ROGTK. Anyone else who comes after you guys is just gonna have to have their initial in their email address. You guys are our first, but. So Box Brownie is awesome, and you do get, like I said, you get free sign up and then a couple free edits. So if you wanted to mess around with anything, you could. Back to one login. So brand guidelines, this is one that I would love for you guys to use more often. Branding.realtyonegroup.com. This is a public facing site. So if you are getting anything printed, like if you're getting signs made or you're hiring an outside designer to do stuff for you, you can direct them to this website. We're going to start over here at logo usage. So you can technically download the logos here. I wouldn't. I actually go over here to affiliates. And then it says affiliates logo kit, enter your doing business as. So we are doing business as Turnkey. So we are Turnkey Real Estate. Craig Tuttle, our owner president, started it in 2003, and we joined Realty ONE Group in 2018. So we are Turnkey Real Estate doing business as DBA Realty ONE Group Turnkey. So you can just type in Turnkey here and hit enter. And then there's going to be a zip file you can download here, and that will give you all of your Realty ONE Group logos. So you'll have just the one with the Realty ONE Group name, and then the ones that say Turnkey. This is also a place where you can grab your email signature and the stats are updated. You guys will notice that I have a different email signature than this one. It's just because I think the spacing on this one's really weird, and I think it ends up being a really big email signature, but it's totally up to you. Just make sure that in your email signature, if you're using that email for your business, that you disclose that you are a licensed real estate broker. Black folders, these are things that we have at the office. You're welcome to purchase some. Ours, we've got the gold foil, and then we have a couple free versions that you can grab as well. That stuff you're gonna skip over the grand opening. There's also Realty ONE Group Turnkey letterhead in here. Wilson, I know we talked about like your specific branding, so you could use this if you wanted, but I usually start off of this and then brand it specifically to the broker that is going to be using it, just to make it a little easier. So feel free to ask for me to do that. And then down here is the video file information. So if you're doing like a Videolicious video or something, you can download the little one here that like rolls out and pops, and then it says Realty ONE Group Turnkey. So from the logo, we're back on the branding public page. You can see that the biggest things they're going to talk about is negative space and making sure that the size of the logos are correct. I'm the brand ambassador for our office, so anything that you get printed or marketed, you're welcome to send to me for approval, or I'm happy to design it for you. I've been working under these guidelines for a long time, so I'm pretty fast at it. Rachel is also learning more about this, and Sarah Brannon knows a lot about this. So if I'm out of the office or busy or something, they are also alternatives that you could reach out to. The biggest thing I see that is—
Hey, Robyn, can I add something really quick?
Yeah.
I'm also I'm also the only Sarah at the office. My last name gets used a lot, but if you're looking for me, I'm the only Sarah. So Sarah at ROGTK will be me.
I think the reason, so in our office, we had another Sarah who worked in one of our tenants' offices. And so we had two Sarahs floating around the building at the same time. So we had Sarah J and Sarah Brannon. So I apologize that I say her name all the time. It is just Sarah. I don't know, to habit at this point. Anyway, so violations of the logo. I'll see this a different color sometimes. Another one I see is people will use the logo, and then if they're like putting this on a design, I'll see like that they haven't dropped a white circle behind it. Technically, the one in the one circle always has to be a solid color. So it can be black, it can be white, but you don't want it to be like the yard and then the house or the driveway or whatever. The alternate icon, this one is used only for secondary purposes. So this is more for like embroidering or etching. They don't really want this being used as a logo just for advertising. I've seen corporate use it more, so I wonder if they're kind of loosening the reins on that, but just in case, I try to sidestep this logo and just stick with this. Other brand violations. So seeing it in different colors. This is the one that bothers me the most, seeing it distorted. The one always has to be a circle. It can't be an oval. Let me know if you have any issues with that. Kind of the secret to getting away from that is always pulling from the corner when you're looking to make it bigger or smaller. Don't pull up and down. Don't pull side to side. Always pull from the corners.
I have a question about the logos.
Yes.
Let's just say there's an acceptable logo. Can you put text below it and have it always show up? Someone might think it's a logo, but you're just adding text to it. Is that okay?
So let me see if I can sort of get what you're saying. So I'm just going to open it up here. I should honestly, I see brand violations all the time, thankfully not from our office, but I should start taking screenshots of them to point out like what is wrong. So here's our logo. Let's say someone decides to grab text, and a lot of times people think they're being like really sneaky. They'll even match the text to look the same. All caps. And so then here they'll be like, win with Wilson, let's say. So I see people do something like this a lot.
I don't see what you're pointing to. It's not on our screen or my screen.
Oh, you can't see the white square with the logo on it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Scheduling made easy slide you're on. That's all I see. How about you, Wilson?
I'm seeing it just fine here.
Wilson, can you see the Canva account? All right, asking you to unmute.
Yeah, I can see exactly what you're working on in the foreground with the Realty ONE Group turnkey, and then you type in the win with Wilson below that. And that's exactly what I was thinking is, can I do something like that?
So technically no, and I'd like to explain why. So Lisa, can you see this now, Lovey?
No, I see scheduling made easy, the Google download and the Microsoft Outlook add-on download.
That's so weird. Maybe there's another window. If you go to the bottom of your screen, do you see the little blue camera logo?
Okay, I'm there.
There you go.
Thank
Okay,
you.
no worries. Just want to make sure we're all together here.
Everything
So
else now was working. I just didn't see this screen. I don't know why.
no worries. So clear space, I tend to think means giving the logo some room to breathe. So you want the same amount of space above and below the logo and then on the sides. So having something like here, it kind of looks like you're adding to the logo. Kind of don't want to do that. However, there's so many different ways that you can incorporate the logo and incorporate your specific branding. So I have a bunch of different posts in here, for example, but sometimes I'll do just the little logo in the corner as like a watermark or a secondary mark. Me, for example, I have a lot of my own personal branding. So I've got like this little house that I use as my design, but I tend to always put the Realty ONE Group logo in the kind of corner somewhere. So here's an example. This is Franklin Home Team. This is Deanna Franklin. So Franklin Home Team has their own logo. So in order to incorporate both, I always put it as like kind of a watermark in the corner, and then I include our logo down here. I know technically it doesn't look like there's clear space, but we're also not blocking the logo or like taking away from it in any way. We're using it as a secondary placement. So it's not as big a deal here. It would be a bigger deal, I think, if it was like that, or you can see when I was talking about how the one always has to have the white circle behind it, you can see like this is a logo violation. Does that help, Wilson?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so any secondary branding that you want to do, just let me know, and I'm happy to help you design it and get up with it. With you, Wilson, your sort of branding is more that font and the Win with Wilson, but we can get more into that later. As far as violations as well, so like Realty ONE Group doesn't wanting you like distorting the logo or changing the logo colors at all. I tend to push it like a little tiny bit sometimes. So for example, this is a logo violation, right? Like I took the piece of candy and then I put the one in it. Technically, this is against the rules, but it's kind of like a weird one-off. It's just a social media post. It's a singular advertisement. I don't think corporate would have a problem with this. I think they actually liked this post. So even though these aren't Realty ONE Group fonts, and that's technically not the logo, brand violations like this that are a little bit softer are kind of easier to get away with than saying something like this, where it's like, it's a lot of noise. All right, back to the top. From there, there's styling. This is something that talks about the colors. This is a huge one. So, you know, white's white, black's black, it's whatever. But this gold is a pain in the ass to match. And if you are having anything printed, your printer is going to have a hard time matching this gold. So these are the color codes. You can either send them this URL, you can screenshot this information, or you can copy and paste it and send it to them just to make sure that they're going to print it properly. This is where you can download the fonts for Realty ONE Group. So Museo Sans is a family. There's a bunch of different weights. So let's go back to Win with Wilson. So this is the Museo Sans font. This is Win with Wilson. And we've got it in 100, which is very thin. I think this one looks more luxury. It's not something I ever get printed though, because it is so tiny. If you're doing like business cards or printouts, I would recommend going with the 300 weight minimum. There's also 500, 700, and 900. The other font that Realty ONE Group offers is this, God, I need to learn how to say this, Nueve Bold. This is more of like I would say like a masculine font. It's a little bit more sporty. I don't use this one a ton, but it's something you can use. This is Freeland, looks a little better, not in caps, but Freeland is Realty ONE Group's sort of original signature font. And then we have Cervantes, which is the Realty ONE Group One Lux font. So this is for luxury listings. If you look at our feed, I tend to pepper it in a little bit, but I mostly stick with the Museo Sans family. And you can download all of those here, except for the Cervantes. If you want to use that font, just let me know and I'll send you the zip file I have with it. I don't know why it's not on here yet.
Got a question regarding the font. So if you download the font, is it available on your desktop? So whatever app you go in, let's say I'm in Microsoft Word or I'm in my email, will it give me that option to pull it in, or is there some way to integrate that into whatever app you're using?
So it depends on
That makes sense.
how hell bent you are on your branding. So you can, if you're sending an email, you can open like a Google document and then have these fonts uploaded and then write out your email and then copy and paste it. Gmail only gives you the option of having so many fonts. However, the Sans family, this is the daddy font, is the Sans. It's the father family. So the Sans family is super common. There's like Open Sans and just a bunch of other types. So you can pick one of those and it'll match this pretty well. Another font that matches the Realty One Group fonts really well is Avenir, which I believe comes on like Google Documents and stuff. But if you need help downloading these and then installing them so they open up on any of your MS programs, just let me know.
Robyn, is it necessary just for like general emails to use these fonts, or are you talking only advertising?
Oh no, you can use these fonts if you want. You don't have to, not at all. So like, for example, I like these fonts, but I write a lot of text. And so I picked this Quant font as like one of my personal fonts that I like to use. We also have, let's say like Lexi Little. She uses this Apricots font, which is like aggressively feminine. It's like super girly. You can pick whatever fonts you want to use. It's just the Realty One Group fonts are the ones that you're going to see Rachel and I using the most. But it's really up to you for whatever you want your personal branding to be. So from there, the text hierarchy, you can skip over that. These are just elements if you are doing design work. So for Lisa and Wilson, everything I design is in this website called Canva, which is like Canvas, but without the S. I have the paid version, and the paid version holds all of your colors, all of your fonts, all of your logos, etc. I think it's like $12 a month. Our brokers don't have to have the paid version because what I can do, for example, is I can share a design with you. So for example, these are the signs I made Lexi with her branding, or Jane has a vacant land listing coming up. And so I told her, I made this template for another broker. I shared it with her. I said, put your information in, put the lot size and whatever, and then I'll come in here and I'll tweak it so it looks a little bit better. So like Jane put all of the information in here. I'm gonna make it bold because you can't see it. Make it a little bigger. It's just like a shared document basically. So now Jane you can see that she's still in here. She can download the tweaks that I've made. So you guys don't have to worry about having these gold, having whatever, all of those design elements that you see, like the brush strokes or the gold colors or what have you, you can download them here from the styling. But if you're having me design something for you, I can just share it with you. That way you don't have to grab these items. So still on the branding page, we're going to go up top to social. This is helpful for you guys. So this is where Realty One Group Corporate puts their social media posts. So if you are looking to grab any, I don't know, if you want a Facebook post, an Instagram post, what have you, Realty One Group has a bunch of them on here. Damn, I was hoping they'd have something for Lunar New Year, but this is where I get like our 2021 post or the Martin Luther King Day post. I've also been with Realty One Group for a really, really long time. And that means that I saved last year's and the year before's and what have you. So a lot of times I'll go to our brokers group and then I will post, I don't know, let's see. I'll post in here and I'll have like a couple different options for you guys to pick from. So for example, this is one, like I just dropped a bunch of Halloween posts in here. So you guys could go in here and then save whatever you wanted. Yeah, see, technically that's a brand violation, but it is what it is. But this is where you can get the corporate ones. And then inside this brokers group is where you can get some of ours. As our office has gotten bigger, it's been hard for me to keep posting in here because I just feel like there's so much. I think I'm probably going to have Rachel and I set up a new folder where I can put posts for you guys to grab from. That is just like a Dropbox folder that's always there. So you don't have to come to the group to look. It'll be a one-stop shop. So that is coming soon. Video for Realty ONE Group. I don't think you guys are ever going to use these. You can if you want. It's just a lot of corporate Kool-Aid. So yeah, use if you like. If you don't, it's a-okay. Recruiting, same deal. I don't really know why you guys would ever have to send out recruiting things, but just so you know, if you do recruit an agent, you get 4 months of your desk fee free. So recruit 3, get a year free. This is some Realty ONE Group stuff. I've seen agents like download this one purpose stuff and then put it into their listing presentations. Feel free to look around on here, see what you like. Of course, none of it has to be used. The essentials, this is where you can go to grab the Realty ONE Group listing presentation. They have it in 2 different sizes. So they have it vertical and horizontal. It opens in PowerPoint and it is editable. I'm gonna be totally honest, Western Washington is so unique in its look, and Realty ONE Group Corporate is so Vegas and California and Arizona in its look. There's a lot of sunshine, there's a lot of like cactuses, stucco, red roofs, whatever. And so it doesn't look super Washington to me. As such, Sarah Brannon and I have created 2 alternative pre-listing packets. So I've got sort of this one that we made for Devin Clapp, and then Rhonda Hawsey is one of our luxury brokers. So we've got hers in here. These are one of the few things we charge for. So like if you guys are like, oh, I need postcards, I need door knocking flyers, I need business cards, whatever, like just ask and ye shall receive. Like I will make them as soon as I can. The pre-listing packet takes a bit more time just because it is so specifically branded to you. So for example, this is Rhonda's fonts that she chose. Like she and her daughter came up and searched the internet and found these fonts and liked them the best. That's Rhonda's tagline. If you go throughout, you can see we've continued the marble and the gold look. We grabbed her testimonials from across the internet and some like handwritten cards. We talked about her specific team. So this is usually going to be like talking about Isaac and Sarah and I talking about, you know, Isaac, the designated broker, Sarah, the transaction coordinator, me, your marketing person. Talks about communication guarantees, marketing plans. So you can see like a lot of this stuff is specific to Rhonda, which is why it made sense for her to pay us to create this. If you guys have social media following, if you have custom signs, if you have flyers that are a little different than someone else's, that's kind of the benefit of using this one. I also don't charge if you guys want to do it yourself. So Michelle Goen, she's a go-getter. She loves doing design work herself. She asked if I could send this to her and she would just tweak it herself. And so that's what she's done. So like if we go down here, I'm sure we'll see it. Here we go. So she went in here, she uploaded her own fonts. Since it's a shared file, I still have to go through it and make sure that there's nothing that is a brand violation, but currently this looks good. So it's up to you guys. So we've got the listing presentation, we have the email signature here, PR template you guys are never gonna need, and then some do's and don'ts about marketing campaigns. And then if we go over here to affiliates, remember it's gonna open this page that we looked at earlier where you just type in turnkey. All right, so that was a little bit about the brand. We are back to the one login page. So we have a bunch of education discounts. So right here, McKissock Learning is a continuing education course. And then we've got brand new Agent Real Estate Express down here, also through McKissock. Realty ONE Group gives us 30% off of these tools. Excuse me. So we get a pretty good discount. We also have a pretty steep discount with Rockwell. I like McKissock fine, especially for secondary continuing education courses. If you are helping a new licensee or you feel like you have a lot to learn, I really like Rockwell just because they have like an 89% pass rate versus McKissock's like 75. Just have better luck with them. If you're looking for those links handy, I can't stress enough just being able to search the group on Facebook, look up Rockwell, and voila. So this is the link that you would go to get the education discounts you need. So back here, after McKissock is Sync. Sync is one of the programs that Sarah Brannon probably helps me out with the most. So Sync is our agent websites that we provide. It is also a CRM. So I'm going to log in as an agent. Okay. So after I clicked Sync, it took me to this site. And you can see that this is sort of the landing page, right? So we've got this up here that'll take me back to home. And we've got a couple different options here. Over here in the corner, you can see your own face. And then there's all these different tiles. This is where Sync has offered their own training videos. If you are using Sync as a CRM, you can upload your contacts or get leads through Sync. There's also documents that you can download to learn about how to use your website. I'm gonna be totally honest, the girl that made the training videos is really hard to listen to. So I went to the document center and then read up on how to do stuff because it was a lot faster than dealing with this, but up to you. The biggest things that I think our agents need to know is the request to redirect agent domain. So if you buy a vanity domain, you can go through here and then Realty ONE Group Corporate will help get your URL domain to redirect to your free website. And then you can also click here to go to your website, or if you need to change something on your profile, you can click up here on your little face and then hit profile, and you can change your information on here. Sorry, it's going a little bit slow because of Zoom. But so in here, this information pulls from Zone. So when I created your Zone account, I added as much information as I could about you on here. If you have other languages you speak, people can search for that on the Realty ONE Group website. It's definitely worth it to add that in here. So I don't speak anything other than English because I'm lame. Wilson, I know, speaks some Korean, so we've got Korean on here for him. There's literally no reason to have your office fax or phone on the web, so you can take that down. Always make sure to save and close. And then I want to show you guys a few examples. So that's not cute. All right, so this is ROGTK.com and it redirects to turnkey.myrealtyonegroup.com. So for example, Wilson is going to be wilsonkim.myrealtyonegroup.com. And this is what your website looks like, just standard. So I haven't put any information in here except for what I did like that very first night when I was just trying to get you to show up on the roster. You can also change featured listings. You can take this down, the monthly market report if you want. You can change the banner. So let's look at, I bought a vanity URL myself for my free website, and then I have one sold property. So it doesn't make sense for me to have pictures of houses I've sold here. So I just put my own branding. I took down the market thing because I thought the market update was really huge. And then I've got my featured solds, which is only this one little guy so far, but hopefully we'll have more of them here. And I currently have no listings. And so I have it showing featured listings from our office specifically in here. And then we'll show you one more example. So the Sync website allows for a couple different types of templates and stuff. Danielle Bresnahan, she's got her own logo, which is this big DB. And then she's got the banner at the top versus mine where I have more stuff down here. You can see like there's a lot of options on how to change your website. And then what I like a lot about it is it's pretty easy to add tabs on this bar here. So for example, this wanna buy a home link. This is a custom tab that Danny and I created for her. And it's just a Google form that we embedded in the website under the navigation bar. I know that sounds super complicated. It's really not. It's just like learning how to ride a bike. You kind of got to get the hang of it. And then it's just like easy to just keep repeating it. Sarah and I, and hopefully Rachel soon, can also do one-on-one trainings with you guys on Sync, just because the website tends to be one of the bigger, harder things to manage, I think. So, done with Sync. After Sync, there's Covered. So Covered is basically just an all-in-one rater. So you can include your business insurance, home insurance. I think they might do car insurance. I haven't checked in a while. But it's basically like an independent person that helps you find specific insurance policies that are going to save you the most money. You can also actually speak to a human person who can help you find the right policy. This does not cover health insurance. Realty ONE Group does offer health insurance options on a market, but it's not through Covered. So this is more for homeowners insurance, not for health insurance. So back to the one login. So DSign. Realty ONE Group Corporate started in the early 2000s in Vegas. So when they created a vendor partnership, they joined up with DSign. DSign is really great, but they're also designed for desert heat and desert cold. You can go here and order signs if you like. A lot of our brokers actually will ask me to design a sign for them and then have them or help them find someone to print them. This can be a place to get ideas, I think, if you're kind of not sure what you'd like your signs to look like. You can go on here, type in your information, see what your signs look like in real life. Not to sound sexist, but as a woman, I don't really like having hanging signs with your picture on them. I think it can be a safety issue when you're hosting an open house, especially to have a sign with your face on it on the outside. It's totally up to you though. I would say the more trendy signs are sort of less with the for sale and just more with the broker's information on them. But we have a lot of different options for you guys to choose from. So feel free to buy through DSign or feel free to reach out to Isaac or I, and we'll tell you our favorite vendors in the area and get something designed up that matches you. So, all right, gonna keep cracking. So after DSign, there is halo recognition. Halo recognition is like, you guys know when like you get like hotel points or credit card offers and it's like you can redeem your offers for gifts. This is essentially the same thing. So even though you can't see what they're searching for here, this is like if you have a client and you don't know what to get them and you don't want to get them, I don't know, like a home warranty, you can go in here and then buy them $100 of gifts or $200 of gifts. And then it gives them the ability to look at the products and go from here. So I will show you. What the little shop looks like. We'll say level 1 because I'm cheap. Okay, so you can see the level 1 program. There's like weird stuff in here. There's like an infrared thermometer. There's walkie-talkies, Alexa plugs. Like your clients are able to purchase any of this stuff with basically the gift card you get them. Like I said, it's not super personal, but if you have a client that you're like, I have no idea what they would want, this can be a place to shop. So after Halo recognition is Homekeeper. Homekeeper is one of my favorite Realty ONE Group tools. So even though it doesn't look like I use it that much, I use it mostly under Craig's account. Homekeeper is an app and a program that you can enter your favorite vendors, and then you can share the app with your clients. So Homekeeper will email your clients like home maintenance reminders. It will talk about, spring is coming. It's a good time to make sure that your gutters wick away from your house, or etc. It's with vendors, it's more like a personal, is it Yellow Pages? It's been so long since I've actually looked at a White Pages or Yellow Pages. The Yellow Pages are for people, the White Pages are for businesses, right?
I think it's the other way around, isn't it?
Is it the other way around?
Yeah, other way around, Robyn.
I'm dating myself.
Oh, cute little baby.
And I'm dating myself.
But okay, so it's like the Yellow Pages where you can find different vendors that you recommend. Obviously, you've got to be careful with illegal tie-ins. You don't want to be, well, I'll give you this much business if you only refer me. But you can tell vendors like, hey, I really love your roofing company. I would love to send that information out to my clients. And then when you send them the Homekeeper app, they've got the recommendations from you. What I also really like about Homekeeper is this shareable blog content. So Homekeeper has these blogs and they crank them out all the time. Look at this, February 4th, February 8th, February 11th. When you go to these links, it's going to have your information here on the side. So it's going to say Lisa, and then it's going to say Realty ONE Group with your phone number and your email address, etc. And it's going to look like you wrote this huge blog about pests in your home. You can also share these to your Facebook business page. So I have it set up, and I'll send you guys the instructions if you're interested, but you can set it up so that Homekeeper will send you a message and it'll say, let me see, just find the message. Also, this is my personal Facebook, so excuse anything weird that pops up. I don't know why Messenger's being weird, but anyway, they'll send you a message and they'll say, oh, your new shareable post is here. What I usually do is, remember when you share posts, so let's say I go to my business page. If I share a post from my business page, like you can see that I have this text on here, like I heart Tacoma and I heart you. Google is the all-seeing eye, the deity of the internet. They can't read this. They can't read any of this. This to them just shows up as a big black square. So you've got to make sure that your captions are full of the keywords and hashtags that you want people to find you with. Hashtags are a way that the internet is organized. They're not super useful on Facebook. They are useful, however, for your search engine optimization and for Instagram, Twitter, etc. So just sort of make sure that if you're sharing your Homekeeper app, I'm sure I've got one on here. But if you're sharing your Homekeeper app, it's only going to bring across the post. Here we go. It's only going to bring this across. It's not going to have any of this commentary. And so in order to keep your page relevant and interesting and make people actually want to read your posts, I usually try to write something personal here. And we'll talk about, I always have a call to action, like, let's talk about it, call me, reach out, etc. And then I've got a couple different hashtags just to keep my SEO looking good. But Homekeeper, super dope, totally love it. So back to the one login, close that. All right, so back to one login. After Homekeeper, it says Listhub. That's a big fat lie. So Listhub is an amazing company that does international syndication of all of Realty ONE Group's listings. Unfortunately, for some reason, the Northwest Multiple does not support Listhub. They say that it is problematic because what it does is it grabs the information from the Northwest Multiple and then it pushes it out to like hundreds to thousands of different places across the internet. What it doesn't do is if the house goes pending, it doesn't push a second notification saying that the house is now pending. It's just going to throw it out there that you had an active listing. Because of that, I think the multiple is not wanting to work with Listhub. And so in Western Washington, none of the offices have Listhub syndication. It's something Realty ONE Group Corporate, Isaac and I are currently working on. So hopefully in the future we will have it. We can also talk more about syndication of your listings, just so you know what to tell your client as well. From Listhub is Move Guru. So Move Guru is more like you can access your agent website here or your landing page for them. Move Guru is more like a drip campaign that sends your clients coupons and reminders that are timed against what's going on in the transaction. So both Move Guru and Move Easy are connected to SkySlope. And so if you put in a new transaction to SkySlope, let's say you're on the listing side, Move Guru is going to send coupons that are timed correctly to the fact that you have a new listing. So they're going to be posting about coupons for moving boxes or pods or Home Depot coupons. And then closer to moving day, there's going to be pizza coupons or what have you, just moving truck coupons, things to make moving easier for your clients. In SkySlope, in the transaction, you are able to turn off the automated, because it's just going to send. You have the option to deny that if, let's say, I don't know, let's say your client's an investor, like they don't care about moving coupons. So you can turn it off for them. But if you have a first-time home buyer, this can be something that can be really helpful. And then it continues after the close. So your clients can unsubscribe at any time, but for like the next year or two after they move, it's going to continue sending them like once a month coupons that say like, hey, this is Wilson, just reaching out to make sure that your new home is going well. Here's some coupons that could be helpful.
Does it automatically go out, or can you control what goes out?
So you can, it's automatic, but you get CC'd on the emails. And so if you decided to unsubscribe your client, you could, is my understanding.
Okay, and then secondly, it syncs with SkySlope, but what if you're only using SkySlope as your documentation library? I guess, I mean, we're required to download or upload all of our transactions in SkySlope, but I probably will not be using SkySlope for starting transactions, probably anything else, because I'm probably on Matrix 90% of the time.
I mean, that's true, but you do, like, if you have a new transaction, you do have a certain amount of days before you have to upload that information into SkySlope.
Robyn, can I jump in on this one?
I was just going to ask you to, because
Okay.
I don't know the dates on that.
Yeah, so you have 72 hours once you've gone under contract or a listing has gone live, the paperwork signed, to get that into SkySlope. And the way that it works with Move Guru and Move Easy, which we haven't covered yet, is it's just automated. So when you create the transaction in there, it just goes unless you tell it not to, which I'm not entirely sure how you do that. So Robyn, if you can show me that, that'd be great.
Yeah, so I will get to that when we get into SkySlope, because I'm not sure I can actually access it because I have no current transactions.
But
soon,
yes, your SkySlope is just for compliance, to make sure that you have all your documentation in there. That's what most people use it for.
Yeah, so let me see. So let me be totally honest with y'all. I am a fantastic people person. I am so good at interfacing with clients. I am pretty good at timelines, but sometimes I don't know if it's chemo brain or sleep deprivation or just weed smoking, but sometimes dates sneak up on me. As such, I usually hire Sarah as our transaction coordinator because Sarah is going to stay on top of all of this for me. And so I don't have to do too much besides the basics. If you guys have a transaction and you want to turn off SkySlope, let me know. I don't remember how to do it off the top of my head right now. I have to dig around a little bit for it. I'm not sure where to find it in here, but I know we've turned it off for the Franklin home team before.
I'll look for it too, Robyn. Sorry
you.
to put you on the spot.
No, it's fine. I know if I had an open transaction, I would know where to go in and turn it off. But on the admin side, I don't know how to go into someone else's transaction and turn it off right now. I've only done that one time before. But anyway, we're going to skip past that and go back to the one login. So from here, there's Move Easy. Move Easy is definitely hands down my favorite tool for clients. Move Easy is a actual one-on-one human concierge that you can offer your clients to help them with their move management. So Move Easy can forward addresses, they can change, they can forward your mail, they can change your internet company, power company, get, transfer the gas information, etc. So for example, I had a client that was moving from an apartment in Steilacoom to a house in Olympia. He got a call. I didn't even set it up. Like I just put the information in SkySlope and then SkySlope automatically connected with Move Easy, and then Move Easy, a human called my client and said, "Hey, I'm Robyn's concierge. I'm here to help make your move easier. What would you like me to do?" And so he had his address changed, he had his license changed, he had the power turned on and turned off like on the right dates. So everything was really set up for closing. It was awesome. Move
What
Easy.
does that cost the client?
Nope, it is free. It is a complimentary part of your service that you offer your clients. And so
Okay.
what's
And
amazing.
does the agent pay then to subscribe to that?
Nope, it's part of the $100 a month.
Okay.
Right? Like it is probably one of the least utilized, most important tools that we offer. I swear by it. I'm never going to not offer my clients Move Easy. Like I might turn off Move Guru automation just because, with like Honey extensions and other website coupons, like maybe there's not a ton of great stuff there. Move Easy is like, if Wilson, you are my client and you decided to move to Dallas and you're like, I want to know what is the closest Thai food to my new house in Dallas. It's my wife's favorite, please help. Move Easy will tell you a list of restaurants within a certain mile radius of your house. If you're bringing your great aunt with you and she needs a walker, you can tell them, I need to find the nearest medical supply store, and they will find it and send you that information. It's just like fantastic. It's like having a third arm. It's just super helpful.
How do you share that with your clients?
So you can either access it by going to the Move Easy dashboard and then inviting them from here.
Okay.
So if you have like a buyer, I think it's really helpful to put them in here. The seller is going to be sort of automatically ticked into the system because once you upload the information in SkySlope, it's going to send it to them automatically.
Okay.
If you have a buyer that has to move by a certain date, but you're not 100% about the closing stuff, you can still have them connect with Move Easy and like start their relationship. That way, when the offer gets accepted or they know exactly when they're going to close, you can firm stuff up to make it final there.
So do they take the initiative and call the seller or
Mhm.
email the seller?
Yep, they call your clients for you based on the information you input
Okay.
in SkySlope.
That's cool.
And you can also opt out too. So like I said, if you've got like an investor, they probably aren't going to care about Move Easy and they're going to be like, why did you have this dude call me? So that's where in SkySlope you can turn off that automation. All right.
So Robyn,
Yes.
can I expect that I'm going to get some sort of a invitation email from all these vendors that we have, how many ever, hundreds or thousands? So I've seen the Move Easy and a few others. I'm thinking to myself, okay, when they send the email, it's not obvious. It just says that your account has been set up for you to activate or use. I don't know if it's free, I got to start paying, or
No,
if
all
it's,
this stuff is free.
okay,
Yeah, so anything you see on here is free. There's some stuff like McKissock, like obviously it's free to use the discount, but like you're still buying classes. Or like Sync is a free agent website, but you can buy leads. So same with any of these, like they're all free to use, but there can be secondary purchases.
okay.
How you guys doing? Do you guys need a break? You doing all right?
I'm okay.
Okay. I promise this gets easier from here on out. We're over the hill.
Can I also say, if you're worried about like charges that are going to sneak up on you or surprise hidden fees, there's really none of that.
Yeah, we're not
coming your
about
way.
that.
You'll know if you're going to have to pay for something.
Yeah, Craig and Isaac are really, really big believers in everything should be super transparent. Like they're about the bottom line for sure, but they don't want, I don't know, our office is just not sneaky. Like, you know, like we have agents who leave our office to like move to Chicago or something, and they'll be like, oh, please don't turn off my email right away. And it's like, no problem. We'll turn it off in a month. It's no big deal. You know, we're just not a very malicious office. And I wish that that was like a more standard thing, but I've heard of different offices that have been a little bit sketchy about taking things over. The only thing that we do, which is standard, is if you leave our firm for a different brokerage, the listings you have stay with the firm. And that's a Northwest Multiple thing. That's not even an our office thing, but.
Sure, that leads me to my next question. When you're using any of these apps, and let's say for whatever reason, you leave the firm, get shut off. It's like your personal email, right? Like you let's say in Sync, you upload all your clients, all your leads, and all of a sudden you leave. That's not going to be mined by anyone else, correct?
No.
Okay.
No. So like if you uploaded all of your clients' information to Sync and then you left our office, when we shut down your account, we shut down all of it. And just for privacy's sake, we don't farm any of your clients. God, that would be so dickish. No, we definitely don't do that. I mean, unfortunately, so poor Lisa came from Vegas and she stayed within the company, right? So you would think we could just transfer her to our office and that way all of her longevity and all these tools would have stayed with her, but it doesn't. We had to create a brand new account and get all of these reset up for her. I know corporate is trying to get away from that because it sucks for brokers that move. But currently, yeah, when we shut down your zone account, all of these get shut down too. So yeah, if your client, for example, if they're moving Move Easy and you leave our company, they don't lose their access to Move Easy. Like since you were one of our brokers, they get that Move Easy move management concierge for life. So like if you move to Texas and then your clients, let's say your clients move to Texas and then they move from like Texas to Kentucky, they will still be able to call Move Easy as one of your former clients to get assistance to move to Kentucky. Like it is an amazing program. I love it. So after that, we've got New Home Source Professional.
Nice.
Oh, okay. So New Home Source Professional is something that I think is super cool. However, the Northwest Multiple is not super fond of it. So according to the Northwest Multiple Listing Service, if you cannot solicit a listing to your clients unless it has been uploaded in the Northwest Multiple for everyone to see. So it's like a fair housing thing, right? Like they don't want any pocket listings. They want everyone to have the same opportunities to access these listings. So technically the Northwest Multiple doesn't love New Home Source Professional because they could consider it it's kind of a gray area because new construction can be marketed differently than residential listings. So what's cool about this website is you can go in here and you can look at the different cities and what's going on, if the house is already built, if it's a model home. So like, I think this is the code for like the model, and then this is the soon to be built. But like these listings don't have guaranteed agents yet. Like you could potentially bring a buyer to these listings before they hit the market if that's the right fit for your client. So my suggestion is if you are going to solicit these listings and share them with your clients, do so by emailing them directly. Don't take this information and then put it on your social media. I think that's when the Northwest Multiple would be like, hey now, like, did you have permission to list that? Like, is that your listing? Is, you know, so just be careful. I think the best way to get around it is just keeping this information kind of private and only sharing it with potential buyers that you think could be interested. But yeah, super cool. I really like New Home Source Professional. I think one of the biggest benefits is that you can reach out a lot of times to these builders and then see if they have an agent that they partner with. And if they do, okay. But if they don't, you could potentially be someone that has like a niche in to help list these homes. So Sager Family Homes, for example, this is a company that is partially owned by Deanna Franklin of Franklin Home Team. So anything you see that's Sager Family Homes, Deanna's got it on lock. Like these listings, I don't think she's got them in the Northwest Multiple yet, but they'll be showing up soon. But some of these other homes, you've got a pretty good shot with. All right, so back to the One Login. After New Home Source Professional is the One Shop. The One Shop is basically a one-stop shop for a Realty ONE Group swag. This is where I bought a lot of our agents' Christmas gifts. I also really like going down to their sales stuff. And so this is where, I mean, you guys have never seen me in the office, but like I straight up, I don't wear button-down shirts. I hate button-down shirts. And so I wear a lot of corporate t-shirts because with a skirt and a cardigan, they look professional enough. And so this is where I'll go sometimes and I'll buy like $6 for a t-shirt. That's so cheap. So I'll stock up and buy like 6 t-shirts, and then I don't really have to plan what to wear for the week. I just wear these. There's also like drinkware, there's tote bags, there's hats, etc. We have some stuff like this at the office, but there's also like Realty ONE Groups like the vintage line or the unline. I think the vintage line is one of the cuter ones. So like Wilson, if you wanted a waking up to win shirt, if you felt like bright orange was the way to go, you could buy one here. All right, so back to the One Login. Office Depot. We get a pretty decent discount at Office Depot, especially for printing. So you would not be doing the Everest escrow, but you'd be doing a Realty ONE Group. So sign in with your name and then your company name, which is going to be Realty ONE Group Turnkey, and then the email address that your zone account was created under. Then I believe it's like 30% off of printing. So I usually print stuff at the office because we don't actually make any profit on our printer at the office. We just pay like a monthly fee to have it. But if I'm printing something like the, I don't know, like the Rev Up guide, it's like 200, 300 pages. That's something that I'll get printed at Office Depot just because it's cheaper. Okay, the Smarter Agent app. So I'm going to keep it real with you guys. This app sucks. I hate it. This is an app that Realty ONE Group got in 2014 through Smarter Agent. And back in the day, it was super cool. It is connected to your GPS, which is awesome. So as you move around, you can like open it up and find closest homes. You can do advanced searches. Your clients can save homes. What's the most cool about this is when they let's say it's like, this home is courtesy of Windermere Professional Partners. If your client has this app and they click call to see or email for info, it's not going to go to the Windermere agent, it's going to go to you. So it's kind of like an unbroken digital business card. Unfortunately, Keller Williams bought this company last year, and it has been crappy ever since. I don't know how much longer this app is going to be around. It's something that there's no harm in sending it out. I just think that there's better apps you can use. So, for example, I think the HomeSpotter app is, it's a personalized app. I think it's a better option to send to your clients just because there's also like the mortgage calculator on there. With the Smarter Agent app, we pay for an IDX feed. So we pay for the Northwest Multiple to send information about the properties to the app, but it still sometimes doesn't show pendings. Sometimes the walkability scores are messed up. I actually was bitching about this to corporate yesterday, and they are working on a solution because we all kind of agree that it's not going to work. In the meantime, though, if you did want to get the app, you could text the number 87778, and then your code is going to be 1, and then whatever your login is for the one app, for the one login. So be 1 Wilson Kim, 1 Lisa M. Sorry, I had a teacher in high school who was Knudsen, and he spelled it with an E, so it takes me a second to like make sure I'm not spelling your last name wrong.
I make typos myself sometimes, so.
I misspell my name sometimes too. But after that, it wasn't working for me yesterday, so I have to reach out to corporate to figure out what's going on. But after that, it should send you this link, and that is going to be for your specific app. And so you can tell it's yours because it'll say your name at the top of the page. And then when I download the app and I go in, if I hit call to see or email for info, it's going to go directly to Blend. So once you download your app, let's see. See, it used to send it so much faster. I need to figure out what's going on, but you should be able to download it and send it. As far as digital business cards, though, I am moving away from using that, and I'm more focusing on using, it's called a popple. So with COVID-19, obviously the industry's changed a lot, like really fast. So a lot of people aren't handing out business cards the way they used to, right? Because they don't want to, I don't know, it just kind of feels like a waste. Like people are going to take them home and toss them. So this is a little thing that you stick. It's literally a sticker with a chip in it that you stick onto the back of your phone. And then you download the app. There's a Popple app, and you get it on your phone. And then it basically what it does is it gets all of your contact info. So bring it to here. So he's got his programmed, and then all he does is touch his phone to the back of another phone. It opens a Safari window. So the other phone doesn't have to have the Popple app. It just has to have an internet browser. But it'll pop over all of your contact information. So people can just hit add to contacts. They can open specifically your Instagram, text, website, phone number, anything that you want to put in here, basically you can. So this is something that I've been using that I really like. I think it's a super effective way to hand out my contact information, and people don't lose it. What I also like about this is after you program your Popple, it's programmed for keeps. So I have the one on the back of my phone, but I also bought a keychain version, and I put all of my information into the keychain, and I gave it to my best friend. So while she's at work, when she runs into potential clients for me, she just puts the keychain against their phone, and it pops over all my contact info so they can reach out to me directly. So I think it's like $15. It's crazy cheap. I haven't gotten one for Craig yet, But once I do, y'all get prepared because he's going to be popping all over the place if I know Craig.
It's a one-time fee?
It doesn't cost anything besides the purchase. So yeah, it was like $15 for the chip. The app is free.
Nice.
And yeah, it's brand new. So this was from like January last year. It's still in the like startup investment phases, but this is something that I do think is going to be up and coming for sure. Anyway, alternates to the personalized app. HomeSpotter is a great one, and then Popple is a great digital business card. Just because, you know, I'm not super tickled with this, I just want to make sure that if I'm shit talking something, I also have other options that could be a better fit for you guys. Okay, so after that, we've got the One camera. This is not the same as Box Brownie, and I think there's a little bit of confusion. So what's cool about the One camera is it's run by a company called Exposio. Exposio is like a stepping tool. So in photography, you guys know you take your camera and you point it at a window, and this is all going to be blown out in white, and then all this dark area is going to just be black, right? Like the overexposed and then shadows, it's going to be too messed up. What's cool with the Exposio app is what it does is it staggers your shots. So it takes in the whole room, and then it takes 9 different photos, just bam, 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 bam. So it's going to take an underexposed one, and then an overexposed one, and everything in between, and then it's going to layer it. So you've got perfect exposures outside, perfect exposures inside, and correct color. Yeah, it's 27 shots with a single click. It's $1 per photo. What's cool about it is you only pay for the photos you actually download. So this is something that you can use your phone for to take property photos. I'm going to be totally honest with you guys. Apps are amazing, but they are not going to replace a professional photographer. If you are at an investment property, if you're at a home that is, I don't know, under 350, like sure. If you think you're a good like novice photographer, like go nuts. Like this is a great app to use to take listing photos as long as it's not a high-end listing. I would say anything over 350, like it's probably time for you to cough up $100 to $200 and get professional photos taken. I think it's just a really good baseline of service. So something I've been seeing a lot is with these apps becoming more popular, I look through properties in the multiple, and you can tell that it was amateur hour that took these photos. So I just think it's a little bit disrespectful to your sellers. Like they hired a professional. It's kind of on us to keep it professional. But like I said, you know, like I have a digital SLR that I can use. I've got my phone, which honest to God has as good of a pixel quality as my digital camera. You know, so with the One camera, I can get some pretty good shots, but even I went to school for photojournalism, and I'm still going to hire a professional photographer. So just my opinion on that, but it still can be cool, especially if you're showing a home that isn't yours. Like if you want to take pictures of a property to send your clients and the other listing agent took crappy photos, you can go tour the property and use the One camera to take professional photos of the home to potentially make your clients feel better about buying it. All right, so that's the One camera. After that is One Design. So One Design is another program that is connected with SkySlope. And what's cool about that is it's going to pull over your MLS and marketing information to create designs for you. There's a ton of stuff in here. So there's postcards, property flyers, door hangers, etc. I think a lot of it is really cool, but just to be totally honest, like a lot of it is very like raw Realty One, and it's not super about you guys. So like that's all your information. The rest of this is just there's a lot of black space. I tend to be someone who is more picture heavy in my designs because that's what I have found in the last 12 years people are most responsive to. Like you have a property flyer, your client's going to be pissed if you only have one exterior photo and then like 3 photos on the back, you know, like that's probably not going to get the job done. So kind of depends on the client, but One Design is really cool. There's a lot of options in here. You're welcome to buy anything you like out of here because like I said, they'll ship stuff directly. They do it on great quality paper. The quality is fantastic. Just sometimes I feel like the designs could be a little bit better, but if you find something you like and you want it a little different, you can screenshot it and send it to me and I can redesign it to look a little bit more you or to include more of your personal marketing. That's something to know about the turnkey office is we are all about you. So we love Realty ONE Group. We're all about Realty ONE Group, but like we know that Realty ONE Group isn't the one that sells homes. It's like you guys do. You guys in front of your clients, you guys are the magic. And so we like having all these options for you, but we also have a really heavy you first focus. So someone like Lexi, for example, she has like a very heavy branding. Stuff like this might not work for her, but she can go in here and shop around and then ask me to tweak something and we'll match it to her. All right, One Home Warranty. I believe it's through, American Home Shield. American Home Shield. I haven't heard anything bad about these home warranties. I've heard they're pretty solid. I personally like, I think it's the American Warranty System or something. It's a different company that Isaac and I use when we buy home warranties. But corporate does give us a discount on American Home Shield. So that's an option if you want to buy one for your client. One Lux. So Realty ONE Group One Lux is for luxury agents. In order to become a part of One Lux, you do have to buy into the program. Because there is some specific to luxury training and because the marketing, so we talked about, you know, Listhub does like syndication to all over the internet. One Lux has specific syndication for luxury buyers and luxury sellers. If you guys are interested in becoming a One Lux agent, please let me know. I believe the only ones we have in our office currently are Rhonda and Craig. It was like a $600 training to get them to be certified luxury home marketing specialists. And then One Lux was an additional cost on top of that. All right, One Marketplace. One Marketplace, God, and thanks for sticking with me, guys. We're cranking through it. One Marketplace is where all of the additional stuff that you might have to pay for from Realty ONE Group is. So, for example, if you are looking for specific vendors for our office, we'd have them in here. This is pretty new, so we haven't gotten in here much, but there's marketing tools, there's CRM and lead services, there's lifestyle perks, brokerages services. So let's say I just clicked lifestyle perks. We get discounts with the One Healthcare System, Aflac, True Care, Asset Exchange, etc. So you can look in here and sort of look at the different companies that are available to you guys, but just know, like, let's say you do use Clearwater, it's not the same as Covered. This one's for health insurance, but it's the same deal where it's like you reach out to a specific insurance vendor and that person is going to match you to the right plan. All right, so this is another one of the biggest tools we have is this One Resource Guide. So if you guys can't get a hold of me or Rachel or Sarah or Isaac or something is wrong or you just want to learn a little bit more, the One Resource Guide is like the back end brain. I don't know how often corporate updates this, but this is a place where you can go up here to the top and you see it says submit a request. So if something is wrong with your tech and tools, you can always ask me because a lot of times it's something I can fix. But if it's something that's out of my hands, like with Lisa's account, since she had her first account technically terminated when I tried to sign her up for all of her tech and tools under her previous email address, corporate, like all the tech and tools were like, no, that email address has already been used. And so I could either go here to submit a request, or I can just email, it's onesupport@realtyonegroup.com. and they'll handle it from me from there. This is a place where, like, if you were looking, no, like the 1031 exchange. Apparently I did not search for the right thing, but say Homekeeper. All right, so if you go to Homekeeper, then they've got the Waking Up to the Win, which is the town hall basically, and then they've got the current resources. So it's basically a lot of information in here about the branding, market matters, blah, blah, blah. All right, after that, there's One University. A lot of our agents seem to have problems with One University, and I think it's because you guys start jumping in and then you feel like you're committing to too much. One University is totally free for you guys. There is a ton of information in here about kind of everything. Isaac and I can create playlists for you guys in here of things that you can work on. One of the big things that I know a lot of our agents like, it's the DISC assessment. So if I just search DISC, I'm gonna pull up the presentation, the audio, blah, 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 the series. You can, and then when I scroll down, I can see the take your DISC assessment here. So if I clicked that, it says I've attended it, but you see over here, you can hit start. So a lot of brokers, I think, get here and then they're like, okay, what do I do? Just hit the start. And then it's going to ask you to, if you've already done it like I did, it's going to ask you to restart, but then it's going to take you to the site you want. So I know, Wilson, you were interested in the 2021 business planning guide. So if you go here to the One Resource Library and you type in 2021, boom. So this is where you can download the guide. You can download the writable guide. I think the ones from last year are in here. And then they have different videos talking about the different segments of the business planning guide. That way, if you missed the training with Isaac and I, there's other information in here. So you can see 679 results pulled up when I looked this up. There's just so much information in here. You can't break it. You don't have to pay for it. Just feel free to mess around in One University. And if you have any questions, just let us know. All right. So Zone. Remember we talked about how Zone was like, it's where you used to go to get all of your tech and tools. Basically now you don't have to ever really go in Zone. The only time you have to go in Zone is when you're a brand new agent. You got to go over here and then click SkySlope, and that is what connects your Zone account to your SkySlope account. I don't know why everything else automatically does it, but SkySlope we have to manually push from here. After that, you can see you can either click your face or you can go down to user and go to my account. So this is where all of your tech and tools was created from this email address. I have my emergency contact in here. I add your guys's in here. Just so you guys know, we're never going to call your emergency contact to be like, they didn't pay their bill. This is like you passed out at the office and the medics are coming. We're going to call your family to let them know what happened. The only tab, if any of this is out of date, let us know. But the major tab that you guys are going to use is the public info tab. And this is what pulls information to the realtyonegroup.com website. This is what pulls information to your sync website and to the Realty One Group turnkey website. Unfortunately, it's just a single push. So Wilson, for example, when I created your bio, you know, you hadn't reviewed it yet, so it was the old bio, but I needed to put it in here because if I didn't have your photo and your bio, you weren't going to show up on the corporate website. So you can go in here and you can copy and paste your new bio and then save it. And then you're also going to have to go to sync to your profile to update your bio there. And I'm sorry, I know it's a pain in the ass. That's why I tell our agents, like, if that happens, you can just ask me and I'll just fix it for you. It takes me 2 seconds. But in here,
So,
I try to, oh, sorry.
oh, my question was, so if you change that how long does it take the turnaround to be pushed out to the actual, I guess, public info, wherever it shows up?
It's usually 12 to 24 hours max.
Okay.
It's pretty fast. So for example, when I got hired at Realty ONE Group, I was Robyn Bianchin, and now I'm Robyn Rodriguez. And so because of that, I had to go in and I had to change my username, change my bio, change all of my different links and stuff here. And I believe it was like 18 hours, and then everything was updated. So pretty easy. And then you just hit.
Oh, sorry. So in SkySlope, when I go to one login, I can go to SkySlope and it opens up. But when I go here to zones and hit SkySlope,
You only have to do it that one time.
okay, it
It's
doesn't
just to connect
recognize
the
me.
account. Yeah. And I know it's weird. It just looks like nothing's happening for like
Mhm.
ever. Basically what it's doing is it's tossing a lifesaver to your account, and SkySlope is reeling in your account to make sure that it's connected.
Okay.
After that, you really don't have to access SkySlope from here. I recommend going through the one login. It's just
Okay.
like the very first time you have your zone account created, go to SkySlope here just to connect the accounts.
You think that could be my problem?
Probably. If you sign into Zone and then you click here, it's gonna look as if nothing's happening. It's gonna like look like the page is refreshing, and then nothing's gonna happen. That's fine. After it's done that for a minute, you can just close it and then go back to one login and sign in through here, and you should be good.
Yes, if you have not done this step already, your SkySlope isn't activated.
There it is. There's the answer I was looking for.
Yeah, I'm sorry, sweets. I know in the welcome to ROGTK email, I've got it in there, but there's also like a million other things to read in there, so it's probably hard to find.
My problem.
But after you update your profile, it's going to send me a little notification saying that your profile has been updated, and then I have to approve it. So Wilson, if you do make a change, just feel free to text me and be like, hey, Robyn, I changed so-and-so in my bio, and I'll go in here and make sure to approve it. So it pushes out, like I said, within 12 to 24 hours. All right, back to one login. So PerkSpot is just like a discount zone for agents. I was talking with Rachel about this yesterday. This changes every single day, and there's a bunch of weird stuff in here. Like, who sends cookies like that? But anyway, what's cool is they have an Apple discount. We have a Costco discount. We have a 1-800-Flowers discount. I usually go in here to look up car rentals is probably what I use the most. But you can go in here, search for stuff like, apparently there's a Disney Plus promo. Like, I don't know. If I'm looking to buy something that's outside of groceries, I usually come in here. Oh, son of a bitch, I bought this for $18 for my sister-in-law. Oh, well. So what I should have done is gone in here and then looked up what I wanted to buy, and then I could have gotten a discount, but it is what it is. So there's no cost for PerkSpot, totally free, just for being a part of Realty ONE Group. After that is Rate My Agent. So you guys know how like I'm a really big fan of yours, and like I'll go to Google and I'll write a review and I'll say like, I'm Robyn, the agent resource specialist, blah, blah, blah. I am so proud of Wilson because of XYZ. I think he's great to work with, XYZ, blah, blah, blah. I'm not a buyer. You know, I'm not a seller. I've never actually worked with Wilson on those things. And so your mom could be writing you a 5-star review. Rate My Agent tends to verify your reviews to make sure that you actually got them from a buyer, from a seller, from someone that was actually your client. That way, even if your Nana writes you a really good review, it's not going to show up. I think it's just a kind of a validation tool. It's also an all-in-one place where you can keep all of your reviews. If you have a review, let's say from Zillow, it's hard to share that to your social media, right? So a lot of times what our agents will do is just tell me that they got a review, and then I will take the text and I will put it in a little template that I have made for you guys that's specific this one's specific to Rhonda, right? So it's her logo, her name, her font, etc. But just to make it like a little bit prettier. So like if I look up myself, for example, so like there's the template, and then there's my reviews that I got from my buyers. I just think this makes it a little bit prettier than just Rate My Agent, but it's totally up to you. It's kind of it kind of depends on what you're looking to use those reviews for. I usually just include them in my social media, and then I've got my reviews in like as photos, like as those designs I showed you, saved in like my Google My Business and stuff. So even though my client left my review under my brokerage account instead of my work account, like I'm whatever, it was a mistake. I'm not going to ask him to copy and paste it on the right account. I'm just going to put it in a pretty design and post it, because it's not like I'm falsifying the review. It's just like he posted it in the wrong spot. That can also be helpful for clients that like handwrite you cards. I don't think anyone has a problem with you talking about those. It's just hard to show them, right? All right, so from there, we've got Real Estate Express, which is the discount with McKissock. SkySlope is something that, like I said, I'm a little out of my depth. This is something where you guys can work with Sarah, and Sarah can teach you the ins and outs. Sarah is also available for one-on-one trainings. She's fantastic. She knows 1,000,000,000% more about SkySlope than I do. So I'm just gonna skip over that.
And I'm gonna do my pitch. If you don't want to deal with SkySlope at all, for $200 per transaction, I will do all your filing. All you have to do is send the paperwork my way and I'll take care of it. There are other fee schedules if you want a higher level of involvement in the transaction, but I'd be happy to talk to you about any of those if you're interested.
Yeah, I'm now you guys can understand, like at that cost, that's why I don't do my own SkySlope paperwork, because I am definitely someone that if I can chuck money at the problem and just make more money, it's a smarter investment of my time. Okay, so Real Scout. So Real Scout is a private and fully branded search platform to bring your client agent closer. It basically prioritizes homes based on the client's feature preferences. So if they're looking for like hardwood floors or being close to downtown or whatever, you can send them homes through here. It's a little bit more personalized than just sending homes through the Northwest Multiple. You do have to pay for it. I don't use Real Scout personally just because I haven't found the benefit of it yet. But as I make more money, it's something I'm going to look into, because I believe they also do advertising. After that, we have Videolicious. So Videolicious is basically a video editing tool. So just watch the demo because it's the easiest way, I think. So to start, this guy has downloaded the Videolicious app, and he's going through his saved photos and video clips, and you can see he's selecting which shots he wants to use in the video he's currently making. It's hard to see, but that says 1, 2, 3, so he's picking them in a specific order. After that, he's gonna save them, and then he's gonna tell his story. So as he's talking, you'll see him touch these little tabs over here. So he's saying like, hey, this is so-and-so from Realty ONE Group, blah, 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 would like to show you this home. And then from there, you can see he's talking about the living room, and then he's gonna talk about the kitchen. And as he's talking, I know it looks like it's recording him, but as these little green video clips light up, they're gonna be playing instead of him. And then when it goes back to that green screen, he's recording himself. And then within seconds, it converts all of that into this little branded video. This is the old logo, which is the little new one we talked about earlier. It will pop up. But you can see it's going to show him talking, and then it's going to show all the video clips that he's talking about in the video are layered over the top of him talking. And then at the end here, he's going to add, there's music, there's filters, and then you can either save this video to your cloud, you can directly send it to people. You can download it, whatever you want. You can put it on social media. What's cool about this is I was talking with Rachel, like, I wouldn't use this as a home tour because I think, like I said, my phone camera can only pick up so many highs and lows as far as light and dark. But if I was at an open house and I wanted to reach out to 3 of my clients to try and get them to show interest in this house, I would go through the home and take little short video clips of the different rooms. And then I would re-record that front intro saying like, hey, Sarah, this is Robyn from Realty ONE Group Turnkey. I was just thinking about you and Isaac and how you would love to buy this home. So here's a little bit of information. And then I would send that video off. And then I would redo the exact same thing, except for like, hey, Alberto and Muffy, this is Robyn from Realty ONE Group. You see what I mean? Like, it's a way to create content that you can push out repeatedly. I wouldn't use it in lieu of like professional marketing, but if you're doing something temporary, like you want to take I don't know, like Wilson was talking to me about Pacific the other day. If he wanted to take a little video of the different areas of Pacific, he could just put his phone on his dashboard, drive around, and then take a video of the property and send it to me. And it would look like he just took a lot of time and energy to make an expensive video that actually took him like 5-10 minutes of time. Totally free, super awesome, really like Videolicious. So after Videolicious, there's Virtuance. Virtuance is Realty ONE Group's newest product. I'm going to be totally honest with you guys and tell you I don't know anything about it. I have hopes to learn more about it. All I know is that it's like a secondary photography program. I will learn about this more soon, and Rachel will as well, and we'll be able to help you with this. But right now I'm in the dark, so I will send more info about it in the recap after I know what I'm talking about.
Really, they're really good. I use them a few times. And
Virtuance?
their photography just can make such a difference
Sure.
in your listings, and they definitely help sell your properties.
Nice. Yeah, I'll check into them because I've only heard good things. It's just something that like I haven't actually messed around with, so I don't want to tell you guys too much about it.
They're not that expensive either.
Nice. So the last one we've got on here is Waking Up to Win. So Waking Up to Win is Realty ONE Group's basically town hall webinars. And it's awesome because if there's stuff that you are, you know, if you're like, well, Rachel and Robyn don't know about Virtuance, you can go on here and see if there's a webinar from Virtuance, like the vendor, to teach you about it. There's also the town halls where they talk about, so it's Mark, Kathy, and team. They talk about One University here, or they talk about social media here, or One Cares. So it's just like a bunch of different webinars throughout the week, usually Tuesday through Friday, with classes available for you guys to sign up for, and they don't cost you anything. So if you're learning about QuickBooks and Comlog, you can sign up in March if you want to just meet other Realty ONE Group agents. This meeting, apparently they're talking with Debbie DeGroat, who's like a huge coach in real estate. So you can, I believe they have access to the previous downloads as well. I haven't messed around with that too much, but this is somewhere where like, if you don't want to do a one-on-one and you just want to learn more about a product, there's a lot of information in here. And that is our super quick overview. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Good. Okay. I know that was a lot, and I know that was kind of fast, but my goal was just to sort of get you guys interested in what is here. That way you guys kind of know what could be beneficial to you and what can't be. The other day I had Rachel sign up for all these different accounts, so she is learning how to use them as well. Over the next few months, you know, I'm going to be I'll still be doing like pretty much all of the marketing, all of the advertising, most of the recruiting for our office, but I'm also going to be working as an agent myself. And so I'm not going anywhere. Like if Rachel doesn't have some of this stuff down pat in like a month from now, you guys are still able to reach out to me. It's just Rachel will be your primary person of contact, and then I'll be your secondary person. As you guys know, we're a pretty collaborative company. We're all about supporting each other. So it's not as if you can't call Isaac or Sarah or I about it either.